Alrighty, so the Warframe 2025 year in review came out, as well as the global community stats over here. Whoops. And I thought we might as well go ahead and take a look at it, see what happened last year, because I've been really curious about it. But first, looking at my 2025 year in review, most played Mesa, 36.17%, top weapon, Strun, 34%, Sickris for the secondary, 27%, Nami Solo for the melee, actually. I mean, that makes sense. It does get the most amount of kills for me. I pretty much end up using Praetos or Furex Wraith most of the time, though, for the quality of life that it gives. Most played Halvania mission, Exterminate Techrot. Really? I mean, that's typically what I go to for calendar, so makes sense. Armor enemies defeated, 58,000. Alright. Total bounty missions completed, 1,050. Gosh dang. Burrito Rebellion runs, 21. Yeah, I need to work on that. Most usability, Whip Claw. I mean, fair enough. Some basic stats. Okay. 4,374 missions completed. I was most active in March, really, with 284 hours played. And I played 1,305 hours in total in 2025. Okay. Favorite mission type, Exterminate, 591 plays. Makes sense. It's good for relic missions and any sort of challenges to work on. Master rank, middle master, 29. Yep. So Mesa. It's funny to see most played Mesa with most usability with gold. Core Prime was really at 17%. I didn't know I played her that much. Saren 16%, Protea 15%, Wisp at 15%. These are actually all pretty close. Arsenal, yep, I already saw that. 50 million focus earned. Gosh dang. Ours as Drifter, 11.87. That's fair. Favorite companion. Yeah, I used Helios a lot just for the scanning, actually. Ours as Operator, 3.27. Yep, I mostly stick to the Drifter. Kodos created 8, 29 Eidolons killed, 58,687 headshots, 1,036,000 kills, 631 items crafted, 372 Warframes and parts crafted, 125 format invested. Wow. Your foundry is strong. Yeah, no kidding. So, Exterminate Techrot for favorite Halvania mission. Most played defense mission mode is the Greenway. Alright. Isle Weaver, 1,754 degrees. Urban enemies defeated, 58,241. Okay. Corpus units eradicated, 196,000. Total bounty missions completed, 1,050. Old piece unlocked focus nodes, 51. Burrito Rebellion runs, 21. Thank you, Tenno. Alright, nice. Interesting stats. So that's my year in review. So looking at the global community stats, Wukong Prime was really the most played at 11,712,123 hours. Primary weapon was really Tenant Envoy at 9 billion kills. Secondary weapon at Ocucore, 5.1 billion kills. Melee weapon at Zorus, 4.3 billion kills. 317 billion total enemies killed. 236 million bosses killed. 2,253,000 missions run. So yeah, Wukong's most played. He's on a downtrend though. I think he has been for a little bit, right? Yeah, wow, okay, yeah, he's really been on a downturn. 2021, 10%, then 22 was 9%, 23 was 5%, 24 was 4.76%, so he just keeps going down. Gauss Prime was second. I think he was second last year too as well. Volt Prime is third. He's going up a little bit. Revenant Prime, wow, yeah, he went down a lot. I want to guess that he went down a lot because of Dante. I feel like Dante just does what he does, but better. Wisp Prime down a little bit. Wow, Wisp is actually fifth. Somewhat impressed by that, but also not really. Okay, Titanium Prime stayed exactly the same. Wow, Nova got quite the bump up. Is there any interesting numbers in here? Saren lost a fair bit. Zaki went up a ton. Same with Valkyr Prime. Korra went down a fair bit too. Sevagoth Prime went up a lot. Nyx Prime also went up a ton. That was because of her rework. Kume went up some, still pretty low. So Uriel, being a new frame, he's at 0.85%. Okay. Saito 9 went up a ton. That's pretty much just because he released very late 2024. Ember keeps going down. I don't blame people. Gara went up some. Nice. That's probably because of the Exalted rework. There's Temple's number, 0.56%. Wait, where's Araxia? I think she was up here, right? 1.16%. That's pretty good. She's the most played newer frame. Noko's at 0.61%. Man, look at Equinox staying almost the exact same. Let's hear who's the lowest. Wait, what was that? Gyra Prime, 0.11%. I mean, she did release more new, but yeah, she's not too popular. So look at the least played Prime. I mean, technically it's Excalibur Prime. That's just because people do not have them. Least played base frame is Baruk. That's probably because he's a little bit more difficult to get. You have to progress progress a bit. Let's see, at least play Prime though. Besides Driver Prime, it is Banshee Prime. That makes sense. She could use a rework. Who's the most played non-Prime? That would probably be like one of the starter frames, right? Volt, yeah. Volt and Xcal are pretty much right next to each other. And then we can look at heat map, of course, if we want to. So Wukong Prime is pretty consistent throughout. I assume the dot is where the most amount of players are. Yeah, a lot of them are in the LR ranks though. So is there anything interesting in here that really stands out? Titania and Nova are late game players. Bolt and XL are early on, makes sense. Mesa's pretty late. Dante's kind of in the middle. Saren's late, Zaku's late, Valkyr's really late. That's, what rank is that? That's LR6. What? Okay. Korra's late, Mirage is late. Sevagoth is kind of early actually. Hildren's really late, look at that. Octavia, Araxia, and Nyx are up there. Oh, Caliban's pretty early. Okay. Uriel's very late. What the heck? Everything is white except for LR6. Jade, pretty late. A lot of late game frames, huh? Nuko's very late. Styanax is early. That's interesting. Wonder why. As you go to most of the base frames, they're earlier on, which makes sense. Banshee Prime is only being played by late game players, pretty much. Gyra Prime is also very late. Excalibur Prime is definitely ain't no one else playing him. Makes sense. Let's see here. Okay, we'll just go back to Master Ranks Combined and we'll look at the primary weapons. So we'll just look at like the top ones. Oh, Cedo Prime is 5th. Nice. Burstern is 3rd. Fair. Torrid is 1st. That makes a ton of sense. Kind of surprised Exceltra Prime is 4th. I would really love for it to get an ammo buff. Probably a lot of the AoE weapons could use ammo buffs. Tenant Arca Plasmor's on the downturn. Ignis Wraith as well. Bolter is only up here probably because it's an early game weapon. Yep, we got the Kuna weapons. Kuva Sobek saw a pretty good jump. Our Econifix. Let's hear what's at the bottom. Like weapons aren't that important to look at besides like the top ones. I mean, there's just so many of them. Bottom one is Carmine Penta. Probably rare to get. Secondary weapons. Kuva Nukor is on top. And it went up a tiny bit. Latum's going down a little bit. Grimoire's 3rd. That's because it's utility. Epitaph Prime is on quite the upswing actually. That's because it's really good at priming. Got the Alcucore, Dual Toxicus, Furious. Carius Prime is going up. Okay. Dual Coda Torxica is up here. Alright, let's hear what's at the bottom of this. Lotto Prime. Yeah, fair. Detron, it's pretty rare to get, I've heard. And so is Brack. Xylock flipping sucks. Spectra, there's a Spectra Vandal, so alright. The Spectra Vandal is not far up there though. Okay. What is there? It'd be nice if we could look at companions, but that's not a thing actually. Broken War is the most played, that's because of new players. Zorus is 2nd. Okay, Praetos is used a bunch because of the speed buffs that it gives. It's very nice. Skyajati is because it's more new player again. Glaive Prime, okay. Magastar, really, Magastar is going up even though it's no longer used for exalted weapons. Okay. Okina Prime probably went up because of Incarnate. Alright, what do we have at the bottom here? Skana Prime, makes sense. Dark Split Sword. I'm kind of surprised this is so low actually, because for those of you that do not know, you can do a trick during relic missions actually, where you can unequip your primary and your secondary weapon, and you can have Dark Split Sword equipped. This weapon is not considered a melee actually. So what happens when you do all this in a relic mission is that you'll always get the strength buff from cracking open the relic. So that's a really fun trick to do with like Wisp or anyone else that benefits highly from strength buffs. Alright, well I think that's all there is to look at. So just wanted to go over this quickly. Can't say I'm too surprised by anything. I'm kind of surprised. I guess I'm a little bit surprised Wukong is actually at top. I'm not surprised Revenant Prime went down. He was actually the most played of 2024, but my guess is he went down because Dante exists now. Also, there's kind of just been some changes going on where you just don't really need Mesmer skin as much. We are getting a little bit more tanky, which is good. I prefer that. So anyway, that's all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this little stat breakdown, and I'll see you in whatever I do next.